Okay, so today's video is me finally spraying my Louis Vuitton sneakers with the Apple Guard. So if you're interested, just keep watching. Okay, so it says keep your leather and suede water repellent and stain resistant. So before I spray my expensive tennis shoes, I'm going to spray my Uggs because they are suede. And even though they already have some damage on them, mainly what I want to see if a white cast is going to be on there. So here we go. Okay, so it's been almost 4 hours that I sprayed this. It doesn't feel wet at all, but I want to look at it in the, it actually made it look better even though it was already worn. So I don't see a white cast at all. I think it's gonna be safe to go ahead and spray not only my sneakers, but my boots with the Apple Guard. And Amazon Prime Day is coming up, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it in my cart. But yeah, that looks really good. Like, it even made it look a little bit darker. So that's good to know. That's awesome. I wish I had known that before, which I should have, because before I sold my Neverfull, I had sprayed it with the Apple Guard, and it even got on the canvas a little bit and nothing ever happened to it. Like, it was fine. But I also have sprayed my luggage. Let me show you guys my luggage. So here's my luggage, and I had sprayed it as well, and some had gotten on the canvas too. And as you can see, it doesn't do anything to the canvas. I did wipe it off, not with anything other than just a towel, and left it like that. I did this last time have some water damage on my handle here. I think it was when we traveled and we had hand sanitizer, and I don't know why I didn't think to spray this before, but I did spray it when I got home. It still has some areas there where it looks discolored, but that's because of the hand sanitizer, where when I was pulling it or touching it a lot. But these other places where I did put the Apple Guard, they look really good. Really, really good. And so I probably should always treat all areas with the Apple Guard. Definitely no hesitation in spraying it with the Apple Guard. I think I just need to get more, because I've had this can for a while, and in order to do my sneakers and then my boots, I'll need another can. These cans aren't very big, I don't feel like. It's pretty small, 5.5 ounces. And so I only have one. I have this little kit here that I keep all of my extra stuff in. And this is another one. This is the Wilson's leather, but this one is really, really old. Still has quite a bit in there though. I'm gonna try to spray it on this boot too and see how it works. Although I know the Apple Guard would be easier to get, I'm just gonna spray it on this side. I think the key here too is that the mist, the way it mist, is just amazing. And I think that's why it doesn't smell the best. I think that's why I already had that little, should have cleaned it, and already had like that little stain right there. I think it's like dirt. These are really, really old. But yeah, it doesn't look like, let me bring it to the light. It doesn't look like it left any white residue on there. The other, what was already on there was just some dirt, but yeah, I mean, it looks really good. I really think that was just dirt that I had on there, and that too. So, but I'm definitely gonna go with the Apple Guard because I feel like it worked really good. And again, this isn't the best boot to test it on because they're already so worn, but I definitely didn't want to ruin anything in case it splattered or anything. So I think I'm gonna go with the Apple Guard. Okay, so it's the next day, and here's this boot still looking good. And then even that Wilson leather, it didn't leave any marks or anything. So I am going to go ahead and do my sneakers today. And what I'm going to try to do is just do the parts that have the suede on them, and then just wipe off the other parts. I don't want to put tape on it because I don't want to get it all sticky. So let's do this way. That looks better that way. And I think what's helpful too is that mist is so nice, and I don't think that it'll be a big issue. Okay, since it's still a while until Prime Day, I still have enough of this one to do my tennis shoes. So I went ahead and brought my paper towels. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just spray the areas where it has the suede, and then try to provide as much protection as possible with the paper towel. I am going to go ahead and remove the laces because there's suede here on the lace part of the shoe. Now there's not any on the tongue, so I have to be careful. Based on my little test, the Apple Guard shouldn't leave any type of residue, but just to be sure, I'm going to go ahead and put a paper towel inside of here. None of that in there is suede. So basically just want to get the suede here. So what I'm going to do is just put the paper towel where that part is and just kind of try to build a little shield, and then just spray it like that. And then on this other side, this one's really good where it doesn't spray like uncontrollably, which is helpful. But as I mentioned, when I sprayed my Everfull, I didn't have any issues as far as it getting on the canvas or anything like that. So I really think I'm okay. Even if it gets on the canvas, or even if it gets anywhere on the shoe, I really don't think it's going to create any spots or anything. The Apple Guard is mainly to protect it from staining. From it getting water damage, which I really want to make sure that the heel gets the proper spraying. I'm not too worried about this up here, but obviously you do want to try to get it also sprayed. So there we go. Don't be afraid to use the Apple Guard, because I really feel like because of the way it sprays, it's gonna be fine. It's not gonna create any damage, or it's not on my stuff. So you use as you feel comfortable. I would just, because this is a luxury item, I want to be able to have it for as long as possible. And That's why I want to protect it from the rain. Like, I don't want to take a chance on getting caught in the rain. And before, it was a one and done. Like, I sprayed it one time and it was fine, but I really feel like you can spray multiple times depending on your comfort level. I think after you do it the first time, you'll be okay with just doing it whenever you need to. And as you notice, I mean, I'm not going all in, like I'm not spraying it like crazy. I'm spraying it lightly, just where I can get the protection that I need or that I'm looking for. I think once you start spraying it, you get more comfortable. Or at least I feel like I am. You just get more comfortable with, and I don't really see it even splattering on the places that, like the gold, I don't see it getting on there. But I still want to try to protect it if I can. As I mentioned, my main thing is getting it on the bottom part. And just doing what I can to make sure that if I do get caught out in the rain, that they'll be protected. So there they are. Just sprayed the one on the right first. And Suede is kind of weird in that it does get, like, depending how you push it, it can tend to just like have those weird spots. Just like my boot, you know, when depending on which way you have it, it can show. So yeah, I mean, I really feel like this helps this boot for sure to actually even look better. So I'm gonna just do this one too and just soak it, and then we'll look at it and see what this looks like after. But yeah, don't be afraid of the apple garter. But I think you should do what you're comfortable with. So I'm going to let this sit for a little bit. Let me get down. I'm going to let these sit for a little bit. And then currently it's almost 11 o'clock. So I'm going to come check on them in a couple of hours and see how they're doing. Just right off the bat, they look fine. They don't seem like I sprayed them at all. They look completely the same, and same with my boot, but we'll check them in an hour. So I'll be back to do that. Okay, it has been a good 2 hours since I sprayed my shoes. And as you can see, it doesn't have any spotting or anything on it. And with Suede, you know that you can, it kind of does that weird where it does different shades, but no spotting, no anything other than protection on there. So here's this one. So yeah. Now the only test is gonna be is when I wear them out in the rain, if it's gonna protect them. But definitely don't be afraid to use the Apple Guard. I feel like it does really good. You want to keep your shoes, especially this part, in the best condition that you can for the long term. And then, as I mentioned, this part in the back is going to be really hard to keep from getting damaged because it is on the very bottom. But I did spray it really good with the Apple Guard. So yeah, as far as like my boot here, I sprayed it completely and it doesn't have any spots or anything on it either. And think it's gonna help it with the water aspect too. I wish I had known to spray it before, because I definitely would have done that before I wore them. And these have definitely gotten wet. So again, here's the finished product. I definitely will do this to my lariat boots, but I want to wait and do it when the time comes when I'm going to wear them. Like, there's no sense in doing it and then they're just going to sit there. I definitely am going to wear these this summer, so that's why I went ahead and did them. And West Texas weather, you never know when it's going to rain. So yeah, it's up to you. I would say do a spot check like I did. Make sure that you have a flow that sprays like that and not like that other spray that I tried initially to put on my lariat boots that I just got from Amazon, and I said, don't use this one. So I say proceed with caution if it's something that you want to do. Don't be influenced by what I've done to my product. Again, as you saw, I lightly sprayed it. I didn't consume it. I didn't do any of those things that would cause it to have a white cast or anything on there. I simply sprayed it enough that I thought would provide the protection that I needed based on where I live. And I would just say that you do the same thing. And using my UGG boot definitely helped me to decide to go ahead and do that to this item. Okay, and then I put my laces back kind of in this different way where it anchors here. And I'll show you guys how I did that on this one. So basically, you just make loops on one side, and then you take the lace from this side and get under that loop and then under here, and just keep pulling it like that so that you get that little design there. So again, I never want to try to convince anybody to do anything, especially with their expensive items. I don't ever want to say do this or that. I think you need to decide for yourself what you want to do. At the end of the day, it's your item, you paid for it, and you don't want to take lightly anything that you do to your luxury items. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.